threats are very, very real, Alex, and I'm certainly not comforted by the fact that the White House has walked it back from hanging these members of Congress to only putting them in prison. That doesn't give me a lot of comfort. And, as I've said to folks before, when Donald Trump accuses someone of sedition and treason, even if he's not serious about those words, his supporters are serious about those words, and they make sure of it. They make sure to threaten you, to dox you, to put your family in danger. That's exactly what happened to us. And then the blast radius is often beyond just you yourself, and it becomes your family members and friends. I've had my wife threatened. I've had my 1-year-old daughter threatened because I simply exercised my First Amendment rights to speak out against this president. But Alex, this also leads me to the core of what these Democratic lawmakers were saying was not that that people in the military should disobey the lawful orders of the commander in chief. They should disobey the illegal orders. People who will say that Donald Trump has ordered them to do illegal things. All he needs to look at is his predecessors, the former White House chief of staff, Donald Trump's former Secretary of State, his former Secretary of Defense, his former Attorney General, his former National Security Advisor, his former Secretary of Homeland Security, his former White House Comms Director. I could go on. These are people who have publicly disclosed that Donald Trump asked them to do, at best, immoral things, and in many cases, things that would have been illegal if they had carried them forward. There is a long history. I would be very surprised if the Treasury Secretary himself hasn't been asked to do illegal things. So my concern is less so these Democratic members retracting the video. In fact, I think they should stand by the video. And it's more the threats of intimidation against whistleblowers in this administration, because we need people to come forward and expose wrongdoing and misconduct.
Interesting, considering this is happening 3 months after the horrific murder of Charlie Kirk, which, as far as we know, was not totally politically motivated and was certainly not orchestrated by Democrats or Democrats' rhetoric. But after that, a lot of Republicans, including the president, said things to the effect of, well, Democrats and their rhetoric are leading to more political violence. They have been aware of how, allegedly, they say rhetoric leads to violence. And it is really striking to see the president retweeting these things or resharing these things, posting these things himself, walking it back halfway, kind of to your point, but sort of just leaving the larger threat hanging out in the air for his supporters to, interpret on their own. So it's almost as if he creates a permission structure for people to really just interpret those things and act on them or not, or take them to mean something that he says they don't. And it's really scary because, he has a huge platform and a lot of influence over how people feel. And people are already angry, polarized. They don't like members of Congress. They don't trust the government. They're conspiratorial. They don't need added flames to the fire that already exists for a lot of folks.
Welcome back, guys. As you know, a former DHS official says Trump is serious about wanting Democrats jailed. And these threats are real. This is something that everyone in America needs to hear. A former Department of Homeland Security official has now said something really alarming about former President Trump. According to this official, Trump is serious absolutely serious, about wanting Democrats to jail. And this is not just some political talk. These threats, the official says, are very, very real. Now take a moment to let that sink in. We are talking about the former president of the United States, someone who held the highest office in the country, allegedly making statements about putting political opponents behind bars. This is huge. I mean, think about it. If any other country's leader said something like this, it would dominate headlines worldwide, and the world would take action. The first thing to understand here is that this is not about policy. This is not about disagreements over laws or regulations. This is about using political power to punish opponents. And let's be honest, even the hint of such a threat should make anyone concerned, Democrat, Republican, or Independent. Because if we start thinking that politics is about punishing the other side instead of serving the people, that's dangerous, really dangerous. We have seen Trump make aggressive statements before. But what makes this different is that a former DHS official, someone who has experience and knows the security implications, is saying this is real. This isn't coming from a campaign rally or a tweet. This comes from someone who understands the inner working of government, security, and the risks involved. So it's not hyperbole, this is serious. And here's the thing, threats like this have concerns beyond politics. They can polarize the country even more, create fear, and increase tension between different groups. People start wondering if they are safe just because of their political benefits. And in America, where freedom of speech and freedom of thought are supposed to be fundamental rights, that's terrifying. But let's break it down a little more. Why is Trump making threats like this? Someone would say it's about keeping his base energized. Others might argue it's about trying to intimidate his opponents. And maybe it's both. Either way, it sends a message that the political system is not just about winning elections, but about punishing people who disagree with you. And that is exactly why this has caught the attention of security experts. We also need to think about the impact this has on the public. People who support Trump might see this as strong leadership, while critics see it as authoritarian behavior. The divide grows and it's harder for the country to come together. What's worrying is that it's not just words anymore. When a former DHS official confirms that these threats are real, it raises questions about what actions could be taken in the future. And we have to remember, in the past, Trump has already had legal battles, investigations, and controversies. He had faced multiple lawsuits and has been under intense security from law enforcement. But now, the conversation is shifting from whether he will face consequences for himself to whether he wants to punish other politically. That is a shift that can't be ignored. For Americans who value democracy, this should be a wake-up call. It's one thing to debate policies, argue in Congress, or fight for your beliefs. It's another thing entirely to threaten legal action against your political opponents for the sake of power. This is about power, not justice. And that's why so many people are paying close attention. It's also worth noting that while the former DHS official is sounding the alarm, the media, the public, or political analysts are staying to wage in on what this really means. Some say it's just rhetoric meant to excite his followers. Others argue that history has shown up that Trump has often acted on his words, or at least tried to, when he feels it benefits him politically. Either way, the conversation is serious and Americans should be listening. Other thing to consider is how this affects the upcoming elections. Threats like these can shift the political landscape. Democrats may feel threatened or mobilized when Republicans might feel emboldened. The entire dynamic of campaigns, debates, and public opinion could change based on the perception of these threats. And that is why this news is making waves across the country. And here's a reality check for everyone watching. Threats from political leaders are not normal. We should not normalize them even if they come from someone we support. Every American, no matter their political beliefs, deserves to live without fear of political perception. That is a fundamental principle of democracy, and it's what separates the United States from countries where political imprisonment is common. So, what do we do with this information? First, we pay attention, we discuss it, we analyze it, and we hold our leaders accountable, regardless of party. Regardless of party. Second, we understand the seriousness of the situation. This isn't just political drama or entertainment for headlines. This is about the future of American democracy and the rule of law. And third, we continue to participate in the democratic process. Voting, engaging in dialogue, and staying informed are the most powerful tools Americans have to protect their rights. At the end of the day, it's easy to get caught up in outrage or fear, but it's important to stay grounded. We must rely on facts, credible sources, and experts like this former DHS official. And we must be willing to question, investigate, and demand accountability. Because without accountability, threats like this can start to feel normal. And that's when democracy truly begins to erode. So yes, the threats are real and yes, this is serious. But Americans have faced challenges before and the country has survived because people stayed informed, stayed engaged and refused to accept injustice. That's the spirit that makes democracy alive. Let's not forget, conversations like these are crucial. Share this, discuss this, and stay aware. This is not just about politics, this is about the country, the future, and the values we all hold dear. And as citizens, it is our responsibility to pay attention, react thoughtfully, and make our voices heard. And make our voices heard. Because in the end, a democracy is not defined by the words of our leaders. It is defined by the actions of the people, and right now, those actions start with awareness. Stay informed, stay aware, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more updates. See you in the next video.